This week on Chuckload of Comics, San Diego Comic-Con, we're breaking down our favorite movie trailers from the 50th annual celebration. The new show, The Boys, comes out this Friday. We're giving you our review of the pilot episode. The new Star Trek Picard series drops later this year. We've got 7 new plot details you want to know about. All that plus hateful comments from you, the viewer, and a whole lot more right here on Chuckload of Comics. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Chuckload of Comics. It's our Sunday week in review show. This week is the week that we will all remember as the week everybody turned old on social media.
Right.
Oh my God, that face app.
It took off.
I'm not going to be the hater that says it's got to go because I'm enjoying watching people do it, but we're almost to the point where it's got to go.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. Before we get into this week's nerdy news, we want to thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, welcome to Chuckload of Comics. Every Sunday we break down the week's headlines, and we got a lot to unpack.
No kidding.
This week. Before we get into the weekly nerdy news, guys, huge congratulations to all the comic book creators who won Eisner Awards.
Yes, that happened today.
The annual 2019 Eisner Awards were at San Diego Comic-Con, the 50th annual San Diego Comic-Con. The Will Eisner Awards, it's the Oscars for comic book creators. We want to give some very special shout-outs and congratulations to Tom King.
Who swept
the Eisner Awards.
Yeah.
He won, I think, like 8 of them. Like I think he won in just about every single category he was nominated in.
Yep.
Huge congratulations to Tom King. Chip Zdarsky, one of our favorite writers. He won for his Spider-Man run, which was great. Jeff Lemire, one of our favorite comic books this year, was Gideon Falls. He won for the writing on Gideon Falls.
Thank goodness.
He's a genius.
Yes, I mean, that book's amazing.
Between him and Tom King, you almost have to give him a couple of trophies.
Right.
Mitch Gerads, who was the illustrator for Tom King's Mr. Miracle.
Perfect.
He won for illustration. Huge congratulations to Matt Wilson, color artist for Paper Girls. That is about to wrap up. It's soon to be an Amazon Prime show.
So cool.
Paper Girls. So way to go out with a bang, Matt Wilson. You know him also. He did his the coloring on the Thor, Jason Aaron's Thor. So well-deserved Eisner Award. And last but not least, Dustin Gwinn.
Yes.
Could not be more worthy of that Eisner Award, guys.
So
if you haven't
good.
read Descender and the new book Ascender, Dustin Gwynn's art's spectacular. We've met him. We've talked to him. He's an awesome guy.
Super nice guy.
So congratulations to everybody that won Eisner Awards. If you didn't win, better luck next year.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody else.
So, Liz, let's go ahead and get in. Liz? Did I just say, hey, Liz? So, guys, let's get into this week's nerd news. San Diego Comic-Con, the funnest week of the year.
Right?
I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con, but I look forward to it every single year because, man, you get inundated with some amazing nerd news.
I know.
Everything happening in the world of fandom comes out at San Diego Comic-Con.
So cool.
Tons of trailers. More movie trailers than we could possibly unpack in one episode.
And television trailers.
God, we saw the second trailer for Ad Astra, which looked great. Good Boys, which was a hilarious Red Band trailer. The final, I think, trailer for It Chapter 2. Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Saw the first trailer for that. Top Gun Maverick, Terminator Dark Fate, Dark Crystal, that creepy Cats trailer that dropped.
Yeah, I don't know about that
was a little weird. The Creep Show.
Yes.
Trailer was absolutely spectacular. That's coming to Shudder.
Yeah.
If you don't have a Shudder subscription, get it and watch that Creep Show trailer.
Oh, gosh,
Shauna, there's no way we can review all these trailers, so I want to just kind of ask you your favorite. Where's your favorite?
It's so hard because
it's
they were all
really
so good.
hard.
Creep Show was amazing. I would have said Maverick, but just about an hour ago, they dropped the Watchmen trailer.
I forgot, yes.
Oh my gosh, does that look amazing. Like, this trailer blew me away. It comes out in October this year, and I'm so excited.
Man, that second trailer was so much better than the first trailer that dropped. We got a lot of dirt. It was a really long trailer. Tons of plot that got broken out. We saw Adrian Veidt. We saw all of the Rorschachs. We saw a lot of nods to the original comic book. The Night Owl's plane was in there.
Best part, you saw Dr. Manhattan
Dr. Manhattan at the end. They teased Dr. Manhattan in the middle of it with, they were having like a parade.
Yeah,
and people
they
were
had
holding
masks
like
and stuff.
Dr. Manhattan masks. Within the post-credit, like right after the title came up, you see Dr. Manhattan, and you see a Dr. Manhattan mask sitting on the ground.
You see this guy bend down to pick it up, and it's a blue hand.
Fully
and he's
clothed.
Fully dressed.
Fully dressed Dr. Manhattan. Dr. Manhattan, this is HBO, man. You can show a little skin.
You can be naked. I bet he will.
They pretty much invented naked on television,
Full
HBO.
frontal.
You don't have to.
Right.
But you can if you want to.
Yes, it's quite all right.
Oh, yeah, that was absolutely spectacular. Did not expect that to come out today. If I had to pick one, man, I loved seeing the Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
That was great.
So good to finally see that. It's just as cheesy as I thought it would be. Can't wait for that. Dark Crystal was great. Terminator was great. But if I have to pick one, it's got to be the Top Gun Maverick teaser trailer. It's not even a teaser trailer. It's more of an announcement trailer.
Yeah.
That trailer silenced all the haters.
Right?
People all over social media and all over the news have been like, are you serious? They're doing a Top Gun 2?
Yeah.
Well, this trailer, I think, succeeded in shutting everybody up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big time. My God. The actual practical effects, the actual jets, some of the most amazing jet sequences we've seen. That was what was so great about the first Top Gun, is that they actually partnered with the U.S. Navy. They used actual airplanes, actual footage, actual aircraft carrier stuff, and they're doing it times 10.
Because Mr. Tom Cruise himself insisted on learning how to pilot.
Yeah, if you didn't know that, the reason it was supposed to come out July 4th of this year, but it got pushed to next year because Tom Cruise wanted to learn how to fly a fighter jet.
Good for him.
Good for him, because it makes it, man.
It does.
Those cockpit shots,
unbelievable,
in like all the planes in formation. Oh my God, that was the money shot.
Yeah,
blew me away.
Yep.
Trailer absolutely blew me away. Great nods to classic nostalgia. You saw Maverick get his old motorcycle out of mothballs and drove it down the runway. That was just so good, man. It gave you no plot details whatsoever, but it was just such a perfectly put together trailer.
Couldn't agree more.
Knocked my socks off.
Can't wait for that movie, man.
I don't mean to disparage all those other amazing trailers that dropped, but come on, Top Gun is the one that broke the internet this weekend, I think. And we're filming this on Saturday, so who knows what's going to drop on Sunday. What did you guys think? Leave us a comment. What were your favorite, not just trailers, your favorite things that happened at Comic-Con? What did you see that maybe we didn't see? Leave us a comment in the comment section. What's your favorite takeaway from San Diego Comic-Con, the 50th annual, the 2019 San Diego Comic-Con? Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know. So moving on to other San Diego Comic-Con news. All of you fans of the new CBS All Access show Picard, the show that's been shrouded in secrecy. The past month we've seen snippets, little tiny trailers, little tiny teasers, photos, not much about the plot. Right. Well, the showrunner Alex Kurtzman, they had their panel, their CBS All Access panel at San Diego Comic-Con. The big push at this panel was, of course, Picard.
Sure.
We got 7 plot details. Yes. 7 spoiler-free plot details. We're going to break down what all the big highlights of that panel. First little plot detail. Alex Kurtzman said, yes, Picard is going to space.
All right.
Seems like a no-brainer, right? It's a Star Trek show. You'd think it would go to space. But the reason this is so important is that nothing in the marketing that we've seen thus far has anything to do with space.
Exactly.
All the photos have been him at his winery, him with his dog. Even the little teaser trailer was just a close-up shot of his face.
Right.
Didn't see anything space-related. Well, Alex Kurtzman guarantees Picard will be going in space. But he went on. Number 2. He said, but that doesn't mean Picard is returning to Starfleet.
Whoa.
So no Starfleet.
Interesting.
Yeah, he said he will go to space, but not in a way anybody expects.
Dun, dun, dun.
That gets me pretty excited. So he's going to space, but not in a way. He won't be joining Starfleet. He won't be on the bridge of the Star Trek, the Starship Enterprise. Wow. He's going to space, but not in a way anybody expects.
How is he going to space?
Well, number 3 says Picard seeks to fight a specific injustice, yet won't have his usual resources. So he's not going to have Starfleet in his back pocket.
Exactly.
Alex Kurtzman went on and said because he no longer is in Starfleet, he'll no longer carry that weight behind him.
That makes sense.
It's starting to feel very Logan-esque.
Right? It totally
a little bit to me, isn't it?
Completely.
Like, he's going to be kind of on his own, an old man.
So
with no
Starfleet. Like a
Starfleet.
spaceship in his garage or something?
It's the future. He probably has a spaceship in his garage. People fly around all the time. The next little tidbit, he said his quest will be a serialized story in the first season, unlike episodic, which you see in Next Generation.
Right. Very much like Discovery, which is on there now, right?
Yeah.
CBS. Yeah, so,
exactly.
I'm okay with that.
So I typically like Star Trek shows to be more episodic, but this feels like it's going to be a long sort of mini-series style. The next one he wrote, he said his quest will be... it said Picard seeks to fight a specific injustice, Oh, no, I already covered that one. Damn it. I'm lost. Okay, no, here it is. Here it is. Picard is haunted and older, but fundamentally remains the same character.
Ooh.
So he's older and haunted. Alex Kurtzman went on and he said, you will not see a version that betrays the man we love from Next Generation. He said, we're not doing that, but we wanted to put a character with that level of morality and leadership and who always does the right thing no matter how hard the circumstances. We wanted to put that to the test.
Wow.
This is really starting to sound like Logan. If you go back to plot point number 3 where he says he seeks to fight a specific injustice, here's where my fan theorizing is going to start kicking in. I think, just like Logan, there's going to be a little kid or a family member or a family
kid
maybe
that lost
wronged.
his family or something.
Yeah, maybe wronged by the Romulans or something. Who do you go to? You go to the
best pilot in the world.
The best captain, Admiral, Mr. Jean-Luc Picard.
Makes sense to me.
So he's going to take him, and he's going to probably take the kid to his home planet.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it feels very Logan-y. It's starting to feel very Logan-y, and I love that about it.
Yeah, for sure.
This one's big. Number 6. Other Next Generation actor appearances are not being ruled out.
Yay!
Cameos, people.
So cool.
Cameos are going to happen. Who's going to be in it?
Right.
I mean, obviously, Jonathan Frakes,
Yeah.
who played Riker, is going to actually direct 2 episodes.
So you know he's in it.
He's on set. You know he's probably going to be in it,
Pop
which
in
is
and-
perfect.
Yeah, of course.
Have Riker come on. Deanna Troi. They had a really good relationship. You know, him and Jean-Luc Picard were best friends.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Crushers.
Yeah.
Beverly Crusher and little Will Crusher.
Will Wheaton
Would
come back.
love
Will
to see
Wheaton.
Will Wheaton come back in
That'd be so
Picard.
cool.
They were good buddies. And Will Wheaton's really come a lot.
Yeah.
He's come a long way kind of in his acting and his awesome YouTube career and stuff, man. So bring back Will Wheaton. I'd love to see him in the show.
That would be great.
The last one that comes out, it says, Stewart as Picard is better than you've ever seen him.
Wow.
Yeah, well.
I mean, what is he going to say? That he sucks?
Exactly. This is the showrunner saying, hey,
Yeah.
our lead actor's really good.
But it's
course
still
he is.
nice to hear.
Well, what he said the quality of Patrick's acting, if anything, has gotten even better over time.
Wow.
And he was already a master.
Yeah, no kidding.
Big surprise. And I agree with him.
Yeah.
You watch Logan, man, Picard has really come a long way.
Absolutely.
Picard. Patrick Stewart has come a long way. I mean, his acting has just only gotten better.
Yeah.
It's the Green Room. So get excited, guys. That's kind of the takeaway
I'm
from San Diego Comic-Con, from the CBS All Access. I think I'm going to have to buy CBS All Access now.
Now we got to get CBS All Access. We have to get Shudder. What else? We're just like going to be putting all
Disney
our
Plus.
monies, Disney Plus, all our monies into the subscription services this year.
Let us know what you guys think. How excited are you for Picard? Did you see any of this panel? Were you at San Diego Comic-Con? Were you at the panel? Leave us a comment. Let us know what you learned and what you think of the upcoming Picard show.
Sweet.
On to other stuff, guys. Okay. We're going to get into our boys review in just a second, but before we do, something else that dropped this week. We saw our first photos for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yay!
The new show, it's called Not Won't You Be My Neighbor. It's called It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Yep.
It's the Mr. Rogers movie starring Tom Hanks as Fred Rogers. The movie has been pretty much shrouded in mystery. We haven't seen a lot from it.
No plot points.
No plot points. Where we got our first photos of I keep saying Won't You Be My Neighbor because that's the
that was a great
documentary.
documentary.
Fantastic documentary. Niagara Falls, and we went and saw it. It's called It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Perfect.
Let's take a look at some of these photos that dropped this week. The first one shows the most fluffy, notable character in the Mr. Rogers show.
Daniel Tiger.
Little Daniel Tiger. You got Fred Rogers and Daniel Tiger. If you guys didn't watch Mr. Rogers when you were a kid, a lot of puppets.
Where were you?
A lot of puppets in the Mr. Rogers show. And this was probably the most famous of all of Mr. Rogers' puppets. Daniel Tiger. Can I just say Tom Hanks looks awesome?
He looks great.
He's looking really, really cool in these photos.
I know. I couldn't agree more.
The next photo, very iconic photo, guys. Mr. Rogers changing his shoes.
Yep.
Probably singing the theme song, you know. Again, if you've never seen Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, he always walked in. He put away his jacket and put on his sweater. He took off his work shoes and
put on his comfy house shoes. Iconic scene. Again, Tom Hanks looks great in this photo. Absolutely love it. The next one is Tom Hanks sitting on Stairs,
Mr. Rogers' front porch, which is also a big part of the show.
Yep.
He would have a lot of interviews, and he would have like guests onto the show. Not inside the house. The guests weren't allowed inside the house. He always met you. He was like just like an old man. He met you on the front porch, had a conversation, then sent you on your way.
Come sit in my wonderful yard.
So you see Fred Rogers in his famous red cardigan sweater. looking cool. I'm not sure who he's talking to in this photo.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a producer. Maybe it's his wife.
Not sure, but...
Not sure. So the last one, I really like this one. It's sort of an on-set photo.
Yeah.
Looks like it's... I like movies and television shows that are about movies and television shows getting made.
Couldn't agree more.
Love seeing the behind-the-scenes stuff, and I'm really going to enjoy seeing the behind-the-scenes of what Mr. Rogers' set looked like behind the scenes.
You know, I like the way that they launched these, because usually you get the biopic and then you get the documentary later. And I love the fact that we've already seen this amazing documentary from Mr. Rogers, and now we get the biopic. So you actually know the story, but now you get to see a little bit more of... You get to see it
play out as a teleplay or a film.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Very excited, guys. And what a great time to release this film. It comes out Thanksgiving 2019 this year, November 22nd. I think that's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's right around Thanksgiving. So that's the movie to go see at Thanksgiving, without a doubt, guys. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Let us know in the comment section. Are you excited about these new photos that just dropped? Are you excited about the film? Did you even know about the film?
Yeah.
And Mr. Rogers, did you see it when you were a kid? I'm really curious.
Yeah. Who didn't? I think everybody did.
Well, if they didn't, they should. So, guys, moving on. The new show, The Boys, based on the Garth Ennis comic book you see right there in front of Shauna there. The Boys, it comes out this week, finally.
Yes.
They've been teasing this show for the longest time. It comes out Friday, July 26th. It's from Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg.
Great.
Awesome guys. Absolutely love pretty much everything they do. I was lucky enough to get invited about 2 months ago to a private screening of the pilot episode of
lucky.
The Boys.
I didn't get to go.
Let me just say, you guys are in for a massive treat. This show is going to absolutely blow your mind. And I say that from a place of not really loving the comic book.
That's interesting.
Didn't adore the comic book. I liked the concept of the comic book, but I think I liked the show even more.
Great. That's fantastic.
Yeah, if you've read the comic book, there's not as much emphasis on the superhero characters. And I'm going to tell you what the show's about in just a second if you're unfamiliar with it. But there's a lot more of the superheroes in the show than there is in the comic.
Yeah.
The comic's more about the Boys crew and less about the Vought Corporation and the superheroes that pretty much run the world. And the show seems to be kind of flipping that script a little bit more. So what's the show about? It's basically superheroes behaving badly. It takes place in a world where superheroes exist. They exist among us. And just like normal people, the more power you get, the more assholishness you get.
Right.
These superheroes have become so big and so cocky that they just do whatever they want. They can break laws and the government covers it up. They can kill people and the government covers it up.
Wow.
So they're kind of, you can't take them on, man.
They're like politicians.
Exactly. It's really reminiscent of what's going on in the world right now, with Disney Corporation pretty much taking over. All the movies are superhero movies. It's everything superhero. Everybody holds them up on this pedestal, even though they do terrible things. Well, in the show, the show kicks off with a really terrible thing that happens. If you've read the book, you know what I'm talking about. We might spoil that later on in this little review, but it's the story of a group of ragtag sort of crime fighters, the Boys, who you see on that cover right there. They basically take on the man. It's the little guy taking on the man. This little group of badasses. It's very vulgar show. Lots of cursing, lots of nudity, tons of bloods and guts.
Sweet. Bloods and guts are
Bloods
great.
and guts. It's fantastic. Interesting, in the pilot episode, you don't see all the Boys characters.
Really?
You only see Butcher and Huey.
Okay.
Who, Butcher kind of recruits Huey after something really bad happens to Huey. I want to read you a little snippet from the showrunner Eric Kripke. He wrote, "I really wanted shocking shit to happen around every corner, but I really wanted to tell a story about a group coming together and the loyalty that they have for each other and their relationship. I use the metaphor frequently of, I like to create a very wholesome Christmas tree, and then I like to hang pornographic ornaments on it. That's a nice summation of my tone," which is a great way to kind of sum up the show.
That's funny.
Because the show starts out very light, very playful. You see the superheroes. You see the Seven, who is basically the Justice League. And they seem like they're really cool, but then as the show progresses, you find out these people are really, really bad. They're really, really assholes. They're sexist. They're rapists. They're murderers. They're awful.
This show sounds great.
It's fantastic. It's absolutely spectacular. We're going to show you a couple of photos here. A couple of photos that just dropped. These are sort of spoilery photos.
Okay.
So if you don't want to watch these photos, don't look at the photos. One in particular is right here. This is a shot. Again, big spoiler. This is the character Huey. Huey is, Shauna, do you want to hear spoilers?
Sure.
Okay,
I mean,
it happens in the
this
first
happens-
10 minutes
exactly,
of the
that's what
5
I'm
minutes of the
saying,
show.
so it just sets the tone.
Huey is hanging out with his girlfriend, and he wants to like get engaged with her. So they're standing on the street, and they're holding hands, and they're in love, and they're going to get married. And then, bam, his girlfriend just explodes. Like, right. And this is what you see in the shot of him just holding his girlfriend's arms, and the rest of her is completely disintegrated.
Oh, that's horrible.
What happened was A-Train, who is like the Flash character, was running down the street at light speed and took out Huey's girlfriend.
Oh, no.
Blew her up in this huge explosion of blood, murdered her, and then here you see A-Train just standing there covered in Huey's girlfriend's blood. He just keeps on going. It's like, hey, sorry, pal, and just keeps on running.
No.
Not cool, right?
Horrible. Oh, that's awful.
So that's how the show starts.
Eesh.
So it's the bloodiest scene I've ever seen in a television show in my entire life. It's
I would
done
say that's
so well.
spoilery. I mean, that happens in the beginning of the show.
Yeah, but it
so.
was pretty shocking if you didn't know what's happening. It hits you really fast.
Man.
So it's spectacular, guys. Can't say enough about it. The show comes out on Amazon this Friday, July 26th.
Oh, perfect. I know what I'm watching this weekend.
Oh, without a doubt. So have you guys read the comic? What do you think about the comic book? How excited are you about the show? Because you should be stoked. It's
Right.
absolutely spectacular. It gets an A+ in my book.
Sweet.
So guys, let's go ahead and wrap up this week's show with a segment we don't get a chance to do that often. A little segment we call Hateful Comments from Viewers.
Yeah.
You, the viewers, every time you guys bring us down a peg and say evil, mean, disgusting, nasty things, we like to read them right here on Chuckload of Comics.
We got to share them to the world, right?
This week's Hateful Comic from Viewers comes from a guy by the name of Brad Craven. Shauna, this one's directed squarely at you.
I know. Let's
and
hear
I
it.
apologize in advance. And Brad Craven, if you're watching this, you're probably a really cool guy.
Maybe.
You're probably a really nice guy, but I had to discuss this comment that you said about Shauna. Brad Craven commented on our show last week. He said, "Oh my gosh, that woman laughing all the way through is just so irritating." Shauna, I'm sorry.
It's just. Oh wait, hold on. Let me stop laughing.
Stop laughing.
I know I'm laughing too much. I'm sorry. I'll try to curb my horrible, irritating
Aw.
personality trait.
I'm sorry.
Is there anything else about me that I should change? Like, do you like my glasses? Should I get LASIK?
You should.
My hat?
You should get
Is
LASIK
my hat
surgery.
horrible? My hair is really bad though, so you probably don't want to see that.
Oh, Brad.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
We live in a society where
Yeesh.
they shoot you for laughing, as George Costanza said. People,
there it is again. I did it again. Oh my
it's-
gosh.
You know,
it's
people have a
uncontrollable.
hard time controlling themselves. They just type in comments nasty things. And this wasn't like it was, hey, I don't like your graphics. Hey, I don't like your content.
it
Why
had
don't you
nothing
talk
to
more
do
about
the
comic books?
content. It was about my personality. Thanks, Brad.
Well, Brad went on to say, that is not the end of it. He went on to say, it actually was constructing criticism, is what he said. I wasn't just trying to be a dick. Although I can totally see how it came across that way, I'm not a tactful person. Criticism is better to learn from than any sort of praise. Thank you very much, Brad, for that. You've obviously gone to a lot of effort to make your show, so I'm pretty sure you care about what people think. Thanks again, Brad. And your viewership isn't great. Aw, that sucks. I did not know that. He said, not having a go, everyone's got to start somewhere. Your channel might well take off, but unfortunately for me, I can't deal with it. Sorry, and I'm a complete nobody, so who really cares what I think?
First of all, I'm pretty sure constructive criticism is more like, hey, I like your show, but maybe you shouldn't laugh as much. Not your laughter is so annoying and irritating. Like that's
not
just
very constructive.
criticism.
That's just straight up criticism. And by the way, thanks for pointing out that our viewership isn't great.
Yeah, thanks.
Really appreciate that. Tell me something I don't know. But we love every single one of our viewers.
That's right.
So-
And it's social media. You're allowed to say whatever you want. So lay it on, people. Tell us what sucks about our show. Not less about our personalities, more about the show itself.
Yes, because we love this segment, Hateful Comments from Viewers. We're not going to award Brad Craven the Hateful Comment from Viewers trophy as seen here. Don't worry, Brad. We're not slapping you with the trophy. I'm sure you're a
Yeah.
really cool guy, but we had to read your comment because it really hurt poor Shauna over there.
I'm going to go cry now.
You made Shauna cry. Way to go, Brad.
Oh, well.
So anyway, guys, that's our show. It was a long show today.
I know. It was fun, though, right?
One of the longest shows we've done in a while, guys. If this is your first time watching Chuckload of Comics, welcome. Every Sunday, we break down the nerdy news of the week. Click that subscribe button. Join the Chuckload of Comics family. Come here every Sunday for a breakdown of what's happening in the world of fandom over the past 7 days. It's kind of what we do here.
Yeah, and laugh a lot.
And we laugh a bit too much, apparently. So anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of San Diego Comic-Con. Have a fantastic week. We'll see you here next Sunday.
Bye-bye.